Alright, hello and welcome everyone. We're getting a live stream going for the day. This is our live stream for the day. And let's go ahead and make things happen. I've chosen to stream across multiple platforms. I don't usually do this because I always have issues, but depending on where you're watching from, you may see a different stream. So that said, hopefully we can see everybody who decides to show up. Let's go. There we go. All right. So we got our YouTube going. Let's see. Got to get into like the swing of this activity. Here we go. So we're gonna be doing some drawing here. What's up, Omizu? Hope you're doing great as always. We're expanding our broadcast power. We are expanding our broadcast power to include Facebook, Instagram, all the other channels. I might have to get set up with the Streamlabs, but Prism Studio, like I've had so many issues with Streamlabs. It's a bit annoying. But I know that they happen to be like one of the best streaming platforms out there, Streamlabs. So, you know, it's kind of like frustrating to know that that Streamlabs happens to have so many issues. But I do know that they're one of the best. I'm actually streaming from a platform called Prism Live. And why does my let me see. Why does my channel not show up for myself, but it shows up? Like when I search my own YouTube channel, I can't find it. And if you're watching from like Instagram or something, unfortunately, I can't see our conversations. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I think all the chats will pop up in one place. I think that's the idea. I still have a lot of experimenting to do with my stream. But let me see. For whatever reason, I'd like to be able to connect to like all the platforms, ideally. You know, I wish they would let you edit videos like in the mean while you're like streaming, but you can't do that. That's so annoying. Why? I guess they don't want you changing the name of things while you're in the middle of a stream. That should be allowed. You should be able to. So I'm using an app called Prism. But the problem is that I can't, there's some features that I can't turn on my YouTube live stream when I have these other streams. So I might just have to leave this alone for now and not get too involved with trying to figure this out, because that's not going to be helpful. Let's see. I'm also live on Instagram, supposedly. Actually, you know what? My Instagram does not seem to be working. I think my Facebook should be working. So maybe one day we'll figure it out. Maybe one day we'll figure out a good system. But for now, let's just do some drawing. Let's not dilly-dally. Let's not dilly-dally. Who invented the word dilly-dally? And honestly, I don't actually know what exactly fits in the screen, because I know whenever I do YouTube, the video actually minimizes. It like becomes a little smaller. So I got to see like what's cut off and what's not cut off. So let me view my channel. Let's see, how do I view my channel? Content, YouTube, view channel, and let's see where this cuts off. Oh, do I get the whole view right here? Oh yeah, I get pretty much the whole view. Perfect. Cool. All right, and we'll be starting in just a moment, but hey, meanwhile, everybody cozy up in, enjoy your afternoon, enjoy this live stream, and we're all gonna go on and become wonderful art creative friends in this little community that we call the internet. Just a tiny little community of about 50 billion people, which is more than everybody that exists on a planet, but there's probably bots and there's probably people with multiple accounts and businesses. So I estimate that however many people exist on this planet, about 7 to 8 billion, there's probably about 5 to 10x more. So let's see what we do here. We've got, let's go to our live stream. Turn on our, there we go. Turn on our capabilities here. And now we can turn off our phone, put in our headphones, and just start streaming. Alexa, what time is it? It's 4 o'clock. Alexa off. Alexa, set alarm for 5:45.
What time?
Alexa, set alarm for 5:45 p.m.
Alarm set for 5:45 p.m.
So yesterday we had goat soup here. Like, the great thing about Prism is it's free, and it like had the connectivity, you know, surprisingly for a free app, it's much more intuitive, much more connected. Streamlabs has way too much, and I think they try to do too much. They try to do too much, but it's a good, I mean, they have all the functions, right? So here we go. Let's get started drawing. That's what we came for, right? We didn't come to just watch me complain about and figure out my logistics. We're going to actually get started drawing. So we're actually going to do something important, something valuable. So I just want to make sure first that that fits. The shoe fits. And you know what? This will be the first foot that I actually have that's like pretty much right close to where the paper is. So, but I'm using that piece right there. So let's go like this. We're gonna go, let's just figure out the angle here. And we're gonna go so just a nice light line cutting across the entire page. Actually, this probably needs to go a little bit higher. And then This will at least help us establish like a baseline. I don't always find this necessary, but since I'm doing Charles Bargue, since I'm doing the Bargue studies, Bargue plates, I want to at least, like, you know, copy what they're doing just a little bit, but I don't need to copy the whole thing. So I see some of this. You can see that that's at an angle. It's not straight, so that's cool. But let's start with this top piece here, right here. We're going to go with a straight line right across. Pretty much a small straight line. And then we're going to go and then we're going to get a nice straight line like so. And we can see that this angle is pretty sharp, so let's go ahead and curve this around right here. And here we go. This is at an angle right here. So we're going to go with a little angle right there. Constantly just keeping an eye out, trying to keep up with the right angles of everything. Or the right lengths and stuff. And then here we go. This is going to be a pretty deep angle too. Pretty wide angle. And that's going to be ankle number 1. I'm going to get this ankle across and then bring this ankle in. That's one great thing that's great about Bargue is, you know, it's just, it's not sink or swim because you can just keep doing it over and over until you get it. But it is like a, you know, if you're a self-motivated person, someone who easily keeps yourself motivated on learning to draw, you can really learn a lot really quickly. Because what it does is it forces you to be almost, I don't want to, like, this sounds really rough in current culture, but, like, you got to be self-critical. I know that self-criticism is not valued, is not a value system in some cultures, you know, like everybody is, you know, a winner, especially in art, by the way, especially in art. There's really no, like, rule book now. So what I'm saying isn't like any sort of official expert opinion as far as art goes, because it's so objective, right? You don't need to learn Charles Bargue to learn how to draw. You don't have to draw like Charles Bargue. This is just one way. But when I'm talking about the self-critical element, it's like, you know, you have this, and then you have your drawing. And all you need to do, you don't need a teacher to tell you that it looks wrong or that it's off. You just need to, literally, if you have thin enough paper, you know, if your paper's thin enough, you just put it on top and try to see how close it matches. And if it doesn't match, then you're wrong. And if it does match, then you're right. And obviously, you need some thin paper to do that. I don't have that paper. I don't have thin paper. But, you know, if you really want to be a star student, you could probably pick up some thin paper and do it that way. Do your drawings that way. So, but yeah, if you could be critical and evaluate your own drawings, and, you know, you're self-motivated, you can, like, look at something and be like, hey, I can see, you don't even need to be able to see what's wrong right off the bat, but you need to be able to just be willing to, like, put it on top and, like, look at it and then move on to the next project. And that's one thing I love about the Bargue drawings, is you could just go and go and go. And if you're self-motivated to, like, learn to draw, you can quickly just start to pick up these critical skills to drawing, which include, you know, being able to see angles, not necessarily perspective. You don't even really need to see perspective, because once you could get these angles and, like, learn to draw angles and stuff, you can pretty much figure out how to draw anything, You know, you could sit out in a landscape and just see how these different angles of things come together. And if you could do that, you can draw pretty much anything, guarantee it. So this one is just slightly off from straight here. And then we're going to go like so. But yeah, absolutely love the Charles Bargue drawing plates. These are basically just plates, copies of Get Critical, Critical. Yeah. Get critical, people. You don't have to, you know, roast yourself. You don't have to, you know, totally poo-poo your own work. But like if you're willing to step back from your own work and be like, oh, this is a problem here, I should fix it, or, you know, I have this issue or that issue, or like, you know, just admitting to yourself that something of what exactly looks off, you can figure out how to draw in this style pretty quickly. And it's a nice style. It's not like, you know, it's not like a style that anyone would actually be like, oh, that's ugly, right? They might say, you know, it's not very artistic because it's not creative, it's not modern. But I don't think anyone would ever say it's ugly. They would just say it's not their taste, I think, is the word, right? When someone doesn't like, when someone does really good work, but it's like too technical, it's so good, but it's like so technical, usually I think what people say is it's not their flavor, it's not their taste, because, you know, I think, you know, you can appreciate someone's technical artwork, but, you know, or even lack of technical, it'd be super creative but untechnical. But they'll say, oh, it's not usually my taste, but it's good. It's great, you know, good technical skill, good creativity, you know, things like that. And let's see, this is the second foot here. And I think this section needs to be a little bit longer and a little bit less angled. But yeah, Bargue is a great program, a great like learn by yourself tool if you're willing to just go like, hey, you know, let me just match this bit by bit, and then over time you start to pick up all the skills necessary for drawing. So this is gonna go down to this other toe here, and then where this toe is, we're gonna come up. And let's see, it's going to end right around here. And let's go like this. And then we're going to bring this down. Let's see, this angle is a fairly wide angle, and we're going to bring this down right here. And here's where it starts to get interesting. We are going to have a angle that comes up and around. And all this is, so like how I do it is I usually start with this one, and then, you know, you just kind of figure out how to like draw it. You just figure it out. You just do it. It's pretty straightforward as far as how this all goes. Totally doable by pretty much anyone. And you know what? I gotta be honest. I don't think that, like, although I can, you know, copy this stuff, I wouldn't say that on a normal basis that this is how I would draw. Especially because I usually paint, and my paintings are usually, let's see, my paintings are usually much more fast, quick. And usually I try to capture subjects like people in a faster environment, not necessarily a controlled studio environment. So because of that, you know, my painting, when I paint, the drawings don't necessarily aren't done in this format, but I definitely can appreciate how this format can work in your favor. So there we go. We're gonna go bring this up right here. And bringing that up. And here we go. I'm gonna keep this going. Let's go bring this right up here. And there we go. We've got a couple of toes. Let's make sure that, let's check back with these toes and see where they're ending to see if they're ending in the right way. So, you know, this toe right here pretty much has to be before this pinky toe line. So this line, is that right? Is this line before that pinky toe line? Yeah, pretty much. Now I will say it's a little bit, it needs to be a little bit more angled, but that's okay. That's something. So you know what? Even though I'm just trying to match the angles and stuff, I can already see that this is going to be accurate, because if I make a line from here down to straight across, it goes past this toe. If I make a line from here down that cross, it's past the toe as well. So not exact, but fairly close. So, you know, I can measure that and eye it, guesstimate it, and know that I'm on the right track. So it's good when you can constantly draw, check back, and just know that you're on the right track. And this one's almost a straight line, but not really. So we're going to go over here, go down. And then let's see. So let's finalize this big toe here. Before we do that, let's go like this. Bring this down to about where this ends. And you might be asking, you know, where's the creativity? Where's the expression? Where's the, you know, the personal twist? And I'm just going to say now that this isn't one of those activities. This is not one of those projects. It's not one of those activities. This is a practice. This is the activity that, you know, this is dribbling to what a basketball player does. You know, this is running a play as a football player might. This is warming up your voice as a singer might. You know, this is doing your scales as a musical person might. So none of this is actually like, you know, the final project, but I always find it helpful to be willing to have activities that you can do and constantly train. So this angle is quite off. I don't need to actually erase it, but I'm doing it anyway just because I want to train my eye to like capture these angles a little better. Especially when I can tell what's wrong, I want to be able to accept it and correct it. I don't always erase and correct, but right now I am. So this is going to come down right to the ankle. So let's figure out our ankle situation right now. This piece is going to come down pretty much toward past our first ankle. So let's just sketch out a nice line here. Should be almost parallel to that one. And we're going to go and here we go. So just a nice subtle line right there. And right around here as we cut across, this angle is going to come, and we're going to go ahead and create an ankle here. So we're going to go with an ankle. And this should come in right around the end right around this piece right here. So we're going to go down. Like right around there should be good. Okay. And where this ends, where this ankle ends straight across, wow. So I can already see some issues because where this goes, this is where this whole foot piece is supposed to go. But that's significantly further up than what I had originally planned in stores. So, you know, there's definitely something off with my drawing, but we're not... Oh, wait, I see what's wrong. Man, all right, so here's where I was thinking, right? I was thinking this ends over here, right? This line all ends over here, but that's not the case, obviously, if you're looking at it. This is where it ends. So that's why, so when I was like evaluating myself where everything goes, that's where my mistake was. And you know, that's how easy it is to mess up. It's just seeing the wrong line, go to the wrong place. And it's not anything that should scare or intimidate anyone. Just more so, let's see where this ends. This should be like, let's go around again. It's also going to curve out a bit. And that's just a subtle transition that goes past that line. You know what? Maybe make it a little wider at this part. Just a little bit past that. This is more, I'm trying to match, like finding something to match here. Something to match up with our line. So maybe the center of this part should come down. So if I was to find a line that lined up just straight up and down, it would be this one, and that's pretty good. All right, so, you know, that's all I'm doing is just constantly trying to find like beginning points, end points, and beginning points and end points, and that's it. So here we go. This toe right here is probably going to end, let's see, let me find a good end, a navigation point. So like right up here. So that was my little invisible invisible line there. And so have I ever used OpenSea? Yes, I have an OpenSea account. And yeah, so I used to, when I uploaded all my NFTs, Omizu is talking about OpenSea right now on YouTube. We're live streaming on YouTube and Twitch right now. So what Omizu is talking about is, I never used Rarible, but I did use OpenSea. You know what? I will say, when you use OpenSea, just be aware that there's a lot of scams on OpenSea. That's one thing. That's the major thing I notice is I'll get like emails. I'll get emails from OpenSea that look like, hey, somebody just bid on your project or bid on your artwork. When the reality is that nobody actually bid. They're trying to get you to go to a phishing website. But it looks like a legit email. They have, I will admit that these scammers have really good good emails. Really good email scams in the sense of how they're able to mask their emails. I will admit they're pretty good. And I've almost been fooled multiple times. But they have not got me yet, knock on wood. So let's see, this is this from this foot. From this foot should cut through there to the top of the toe, which is going to come down right here. And honestly, this toe probably needs to just be a little bit bigger. So we're going to bring in down our toe just a little bit. And we're going to go and that's a little bit of a better big toe there. But yes, talking about NFTs, I'm highly supportive of NFTs. I currently, I don't have any of my new artwork as an NFT, but I do have a bunch of my old digital art as it. But that's just a personal choice because, well, pretty much because of the market right now as far as NFTs go. So, by the way, we are, just a disclaimer here, I am talking about NFTs as a way to sell art, not NFTs as a financial vehicle. So this is not financial advice. I am not talking about NFTs as a way to get rich quick. That is not what we're speaking about here. We're talking about NFTs solely as a way for artists to sell artwork. And there we have it. So we're actually going to go round this piece about. And let's go like this. We're going to bring this around to I'll go bring this down. And here we go. Gotta tighten up this toe right now. This toe's a little funky. Funky feet right here. Let the figure disappear here. Round this out. And let's see, it's going to come down here and then come down right there. And there we go. This is the beginning of our foot. What we're going to do here is start to paint or draw in the rest of it. And this is a pretty light, a light overall shading. So, you know what? Here, I'm going to go with some of our pencils here. And we're going to look for, let's do 5B. Let's do a 4B as our darkest color. I'm going to go 4B for the darkest shadow right here, which pretty much like right in here. These are probably going to be the darkest shadows. And then let's throw in the shadow right along the edges here. We're going to use the shadow to form out the darkest area. Okay, and here we go. go. Just gonna round this around and then keep this nice and subtle. Let's go round this piece right there. And this is gonna have some form as well. And let's bring this down. So we're gonna bring this down here. And let's use this to even add a little bit of shade around the outside here. And just to tighten up this curve. And here we go. So we're gonna continue on. Let's go into this. So this is actually not even a toe right there. That's just a corn. Is that what they call, like, when people have these like really thick outsides of their feet? Corn feet or something. I can't remember the name of it. But we're gonna use this darker pencil here that I just put down, and we're gonna add some shadow to this. We're gonna round this out, bring this forward. Just to bring in the pen or the toenail. So just to bring in the toenail right there. And this is going to go right into the toenail. And here we go. We're going to do this other toenail right now too. So we're going to go around. Toenails are important. So this is actually coming around like this. So this is actually coming around like so. And we're going to go and then we're going to go add the toenail right into here. So we'll have to go back over that in a little bit, but let's get this other toenail just to shape it around a little bit. So even over here, there's going to be a little bit of shadow. And let's go. And it's going to come up, curve this in with a little angle, give this a little bit of a lump. And there we go. So here we keep building this up. We're just building it up section by section. This is going to be a nice little shadow right down deep in here. And let's go like this. We're going to go like that. We're going to curve this in. Curve this in. And make sure that this comes up nice and dark. And obviously this toe has like this interesting design. So that's where we're going to allow to shine. And we're going to bring this up. And this is going to help us. What we do in the future now is we're going to use the shadows to really help us to define our space here. So you can see that this pretty much comes around and curves in with the toenail, and then there's the other part of the toe right here. And we're letting some of this, the pencil do the work, in the sense that this pencil has its own... The pencil has its own darkness, its own unique character, so we're going to let the pencil do some of the work. And this is a pretty janky toe, but we'll make it a non-janky toe. Let's see, we're going to go like, what the? Oh yeah, okay, so we're going to go like this. That's that one. And then this is really just a subtle shadow then. So we're going to go... All right. And now let's go with the lighter pencil. So this is a 4B. We're going to go for... Let's see, we got 4B. I don't usually shade with pencils that much because I paint, but I like the challenge of trying something new. I know there's like better techniques to shading and everything. But I like the way I'm doing it. So anyway, this is a Faber-Castell sharpener. It sharpens 3 different types of things, but I only ever use one. So, I think the Faber-Castell is a bit overkill for anyone who only plans to use pencil drawing. But I think there is a pencil a large pencil that could go into here. And you know what? Look how quick that sharpener happened. Look how quick. Just 3 little twists and we're ready to go. So that's awesome. Can't ask for better there. So this is a B. So let's see how we can use this B to create some design here. We're gonna go up into here, and we're just gonna use the B to shade in some of the space along the top here. And here we go. So that's shading the top. And you know what? This could come around a bit more. So we're going to do that. We're going to bring this around to give it some more of this like texture. Really just trying to add some deeper shadow. Now here's the funny thing is that this is a printout. So, since this is a printout, I don't know for sure how much the printing affected the actual lithograph, which I think these plates are initially lithographs, which is what someone told me, but I don't know for sure as far as what exactly they are based on, like. Because this book is a reprint. This book is not an official reprint. I know that the actual Bargue courses, so Charles Bargue, his actual courses are in the public domain, which means you can get all of these pretty much for free on the internet. But you know what? I like to have these. I like having it physically here. And that's actually how it was originally designed, was that you have it physically right in front of you. So when you have it physically right in front of you, you have the opportunity to just quickly go back and forth between the painting and the sketch, and it gives you the opportunity to really go back and forth really easily and find your mistakes. And we're going to go curve this in a bit, curve that, and curve this, of course. And let's go, you know what, this could go down. Oh, there's so much here. So let's see, we're going to go like here. So this pencil is just a hint lighter than the one that's already here. So this is going to help me create some shadows that are a bit lighter. And here we go. And then this is also going to have some of a transition here. And here we go. And we're going to go like bring this in right here. Round that about. And just slowly building this up. This ankle's a little bit too darkened, so we're gonna use our kneading eraser in order to give it a little bit less, of a visual density. And just working our best to create our shadow there. You know what I need to do is curve this around a bit. All right, that's enough of that, enough shading, enough working. Sometimes you don't want to overwork an area. This eraser, I think most people do is they have a like a kneading eraser, which means that you can actually mold it into the shape you want, so that you don't get these like awkward little corners and stuff. But I don't usually draw with pencil, or I don't usually color with pencil. So what I have to do is So what I have to do is pretty much figure it out as I go. That's not always the... Like, I know a lot of, just like painters, whenever they have, you know, their supplies, they start to get so used to it, and it just becomes second nature what to do with those supplies. And then let's go like this. But like, if you don't have the tools, like say, if I'm trying to figure out and learn pencil drawing, or I'm actually not trying to learn pencil drawing as much as I am just practicing my drawing skills. But in the chance that you are learning pencil drawing, you know, it could actually be quite a curve going from painting to pencil, because suddenly you have to buy all these supplies for the pencil. And these lines I've made a little too thick. I'm having a hard time deciding whether I want to keep the density and the boldness of these pencil marks, or whether I want to just allow it to be itself. Allow them to be themselves. So actually this part probably needs a little bit of a tuning, a fine tuning right here. Some stuff that needs tuning. This right here needs some tuning. That right there needs some tuning. The construction lines don't necessarily need to be there. I don't mind leaving them here. But obviously, you know, depending on what you're actually drawing, this would be a good thing or a bad thing. But here we go. I see this darker area, so let's use this before we go into an even lighter space. So here we go. We're gonna go with a nice dark outline right here. You know what we can do is we can actually shade this. We can actually cross hatch this. And continue hashing that down. You know what? There's a little bit of a darker area at the front, so let's go in with a little bit of a darker shadow. Just want to be able to practice our visualization of value. So personally, I think I'm going a little overboard with trying to pick just the perfect value. But I do like to, as I've been working on Bargue, just try to see the the subtle variations of these different areas, and just to, you know, feel them out. Just experience these subtle variations here. The subtle variation in color and the shift. And you can see it. You can see an actual, like, subtle little difference right there. But we're going to go with we're going to go with one shade lighter in a moment here. I actually like this color for what we've got going on around the legs. So let's go around. We're going to go ahead and cross hatch into here. Cross hatch into here. And let's see how we can navigate this. So it's going to come down. And this actually curves down into this line, I think. And then that comes around. So here we go. We're going to go. And here we go. And then like this curves around. And just give this little bit of cross hatchery. Just trying to give the shape of the shadow a little bit more density here. To help and soften some of what we've got going on, and this area needs to be erased a bit. It's causing some visual disruption here. And let's see. And let's grab the darker pencil again. We're going to curve around this section here. And there we go. So let's go ahead and keep this going with this blend in here. And here we go. We can actually keep working into here. And we're going to go into here. And add some shadow. Let's come all the way around here. Is it weird that I can smell feet right now? This toe is so jacked up. And you know what? If I had to grade myself on this foot, I would say that this would not be a pass. But I know it was going to turn out okay. I just would not pass this specific foot here. Now let's go down into here. And let's see, how do I maneuver this area right here? Soften that. And let's go with a lighter pencil. We're gonna go with a 2H. Let's do a 2H here. Get those darks, don't be scared. Oh yeah? You're saying they're not dark enough? I'd agree. I agree. I should get these darker areas darker. So here we go. We're gonna go straight across as we start to paint in or draw in these shadows that are underneath the foot. And you know what's cool about the area underneath the foot? There's a little subtle white gap where the toes transition and they have like no value. It's just white.
Hi.
Hey.
You're streaming.
Yes, I'm streaming.
Streaming. Scout.
Huh?
With Scout. He's right there.
Where's Scout? Oh.
I said with him.
Huh?
With him. He's right there.
One more time. What?
Pointless trying to talk to you.
What?
With Scout.
What about him?
I just said with him.
Oh yes, I'm sketching with Scout.
I'm
Yeah.
talking. This cat food, the vet prescribed for Simba is $60. It's ridiculous.
You didn't have to buy it, did you?
She ordered it. Yeah, I had to buy it.
Oh. All right.
You know what his dental cleaning will cost?
$700.
$2,000.
2,000. Yes.
The kitty litter didn't come?
I don't know.
It's not out there.
Okay.
So it smells.
All right. All right, YouTube. There's all our
All our dirty laundry.
everything you've ever wanted to know about our household and our lives with cats. Cat also owns a ranch that is on fire. Totally kidding. I'm making stuff up. Just saying all sorts of random stuff that that is really too much info for any of y'all. But I'm sharing it anyway. That's not true though. She doesn't actually have a ranch. Just saying stuff. All right, so you were saying light reflection. Yes, light reflection. Let me finish this this piece. You know, it's funny because I have like, so in one ear I'm listening to like all this positive self-talk, and then suddenly, boom, like a hurricane, all these issues. But anyway, I mean, I guess that's what life is like, right? Like, things are good, and then, bam, you get hit with a bunch of stuff. So, who else has vet bills? I'm sure everybody here does. All right. Okay, and then this is going to just be plain white. So we're just going to leave that white. And let's grab, you know what? Omizu has challenged us to use darker darks. So we're going to go a little bit darker with some of our shadows. Look at how out this ankle is. It's so prominent. So I know what I need to do with that ankle. But I will, before I do that, I will improve the darkness of this bottom area here. And this area, we can actually just erase away the sharpness of it. It's a little bit too prominent. And you know what? I don't even notice that until I look on a camera. Until I take a moment to like look on a camera and see what's going on with it. But that was way too prominent. I think this is a little bit better. Yes, it's a little bit better. Still a little bit too angular. Let's see how we can do this. All right, there we go. And let's get, I've been challenged to go darker on the darks. So let's do it. Let's go darker on the darks. See, isn't it good when you live stream and you have people that can point out your fears, where you're slacking, where you're, you know, doing this. This is not necessarily something that I'm scared to do, but when I was thinking about it, I was like, do I really need to? You know, and sometimes you skip out on things that you don't feel are totally like important, but you know, because Omizu has making the effort to point it out, and I think about it, I'm like, was I scared to do it? You know, was I a little bit afraid of the dark? Was I a little bit afraid of trying to, you know, of accidentally making the shadows too dark? And you know what, if I'm honest, maybe a little bit, yeah, maybe a little bit. So sometimes it's good to be truthful with yourself when it comes to art. Well, I guess this was outside criticism that made me self-critical, but it is nice to also have a way to chickadee check yourself, and you know, just be open to the possibility that, yeah, maybe you're being a little wimp with some of the shadows, right? And this definitely needs to come out a bit more. I got my 2H. I should probably use a B right here as we come around this way. This needs to be a little bit darker here. And there needs to be a bit more shadow here. I need to make this ankle a bit wider. Being a little soft. A little bit soft with this, with the details here. Got a lot of burps right now. So these are definitely much lighter, but I can definitely go a little bit darker. I guess we could go a little bit darker here. Let's go. Very good. All right, we're gonna go like this. Boom, boom, boom. You know, honestly, if it wasn't for Omizu pointing this out, I probably would have just like finished in the next like 10-15 minutes, and I would have just been like, yep, I'm done. Well, probably not 15 minutes, but maybe, I feel like this is going to take at least a half hour. Maybe a half hour more? I don't know. Let's get these shadows. Make that chiaroscuro much more powerful. This is kind of like feathered now, but I don't like that it feels feathered. That's okay. We're gonna go And then now let's bring these shadows down. And the shadow is going to come around here. Can we just get Kat a reality TV show already, people? I think Kathleen should just have a reality TV show. I'm pretty sure that's what she wants. So, if anybody knows any reality TV show, get Kathleen her own reality TV show. She will say anything and everything.
Is that what they're saying about me?
Should water your plants, Kat.
What plants?
Should water your plants.
Oh, those plants. Oh! Oh! Whoa! Look at that! My goodness. Thank you. Wow. Oh! Oh, sweet. Ooh. Oh. Oh my goodness. Oh.
You had a drawing teacher who said it's better to go far beyond what you should than to never reach what many would consider the normal limit. Okay. So in what context were they saying that? Is there an actual context? Is there a context to that? Any context we could take away?
Bernie, we're not eating it. I have to get a vase. Where am I going to find a
What do you need?
A vase?
Which one?
A vase. Is there anything there? Can't really see. Oh, perfect. Thank you.
Alright, we're going to add this shadow right here. Oh yeah, we need this line right here actually. We're going to have... You know what's interesting is this just used dots. I only see dots as some of the textures on some of these. So maybe we'll go with a couple dots and then we'll bring this up. Specifically contrast and use of value. That's great. Great to know. Isn't it great how you can, like, a bunch of people can just get together and share what the art teachers learned, and everybody can learn something totally different. We can all learn something. So when you interpret what he was saying, do you think he was saying exaggerate your values? Is that what you're suggesting? I don't want to put the, you know, I don't want to suggest the wrong words, but, you know, what was your takeaway? What was your actual takeaway from that conversation? You know, rather than just make the darkest areas the darkest you can, right? Like, I think that would be the interpretation from from what we're doing right now, like, don't be afraid to just make it really dark. But what do you think was really being said when you were during that time when you were studying? What do you think was the message of the day?
No, those are not for you. Scout's up here eyeballing the flowers. No, those are not for you. I'm in my room and close the door.
And we're gonna add some color around there. I always find it funny when I use the word color because it sounds so like childish, like I'm coloring. But really need to invest in a ruler.
What's your head?
I mean an eraser that will allow me to get corners, like get corners well. And this is gonna take quite a while for this next area here. Got the reflected light. We got the refracted light.
I'm thinking the fridge. Ah.
Okay, hang on.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Okay, thank you. Perfect. Nice. Thank you.
And then here we go. We can actually
hey, you guys, you're so cute. Is that fun?
and let's go from this one. We're gonna go. Did they really use dots? Like, I feel like what I'm seeing is that this is dotted, which I've never heard of, like a dotting technique in order to create shadow. I can't imagine that anybody would teach a dotting technique with pencils. Now this is where a good teacher comes in handy that knows this, because they could tell you, like, dude, you're wasting time with the dots, or if it was actually part of the technique. Because I feel like making dots is not part of the technique, but that's what I'm actually seeing here. But again, the reason why I don't know is because I can't tell if it's like the remnants from the printing, or if it's actually dotted, because, like, now that I'm looking at it, you know, I see all my dots and they're just kind of weird. Like, these dots are not, they don't look like they're supposed to be there. But, you know, when I look really close, I definitely see dots, and I'm thinking to myself, well, maybe there are supposed to be dots. Maybe there should be dots.
Here.
But whether they're supposed to be dots or not, I'm just figuring it out. I'm going ahead and just doing it that way.
Simba, I got you really
Drawing in what I see.
millionaire cat.
And a couple of dots. Dot, 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 dot. Dot, 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 dot. Dot, dot, dot. Too many dots. All right, let's go bring this up here. Needs a better pencil than that. I'm gonna go with a B. Like, I feel like this person literally went through the trouble of drawing this person's fingerprints. And I am not that kind of artist. And I don't want to be that type of artist. So, I'm trying to find the best way to fake this part. And here we go. Go around here. Create some shadow areas. And then bam. Yeah, I'm like 99% sure that the intention here is not actually to create the dots and the fingerprints. I don't know. But I'm redoing this section again. Gonna go darker with the darks. And really create the shadow of the toe here. And there we have it. Okay. Have I ever made a value chart? You know what? Not for an actual drawing, like not for this type of drawing, but I have made a value chart, not specifically for a drawing, right? Like if I'm doing a piece like this, if I'm doing a art piece like this, I don't do a value chart, I don't make it, but I have made value charts. I usually do it in digital art. When I do the value charts, it's usually in a digital art form. You know, like you just press the hotkeys. You just press the hotkeys, you know, 1 through 9 to change the value, and that would be my extent of using a value chart.
Frito? You just grabbed a Frito.
So, yes. Have I made a value chart? Yes, but not, I don't usually do it for this. And you know what, like it's pretty, you know, for this it's pretty standard. You got the values, right? You got 6 values all the way across. Oh no, not even 6. You probably got like, well, there's 12 values here, which is not accurate and reflective of the actual value chart. But you know what? Like we use white and we don't have total black. So it's like, this is like all the in-between grays. Obviously, this is not the actual value chart because this is just pencil lead darknesses or pencil lead hardnesses, which affects the darkness. But let's go ahead and make this work here. Look how this toe is just like this, like all in shadow, which should not be the case. What should we do? I just wish this eraser was not. Erase away some of the value here and lighten some of the value around here down. And erase away along the tip of the toe here. And let's see. Oh yeah, we have one more section right here. Let's find our B. I'm gonna go with a B here. We go with our B brush. And then add a couple little dots. Couple little dots there. Dot it around. I don't know what these dots are. I don't actually know. It's part of it. Let me see how it looks in the photo. Yeah, not totally off. Those are softness and hardness, not necessarily reflective of an actual value scale. Yes, that's right. Yes, I agree. Too much erasing. I've reached the point where I'm doing too much erasing. I think if I really look at my mistakes, probably that I used the wrong value around the toe. Some of it needs to be lightened up. And then this area right here needs to be reduced. Honestly, I think that looks a little better. Even though it's still kind of funky, I think that looks just a little better. Let's go. Let's try to go in with just some lighter values again. We're going to go with our 2H here. And we're just going to go 2H our way through this. Just adding a 2H color here. You know, let some of the shadow just make its own texture here. And then we're gonna go.
So we want to show you some video. This is from a group of scientists who just happened to be collecting water samples off the coast when the fire started. As soon as they noticed ash and soot on their boats and in the water, they changed their research project. What they found could affect us in the months, even the years to come.
And here we go. We're gonna go right down to here.
Samples that are thick with anchovy eggs and all a bunch of ash and fire debris in that same sample.
And when shall we finish? When shall we call this done? When I say it is, which is pretty soon here. Let me use our dark color here.
To the decades worth of other water samples that they have stored. So what kinds of toxins are we actually talking about? I spoke with Dr. Neil Patel at Providence St. Joseph Hospital in Orange, who elaborated on those toxins that are so concerning.
Some of these toxins include certain minerals such as nitrogen, phosphorus, but they're in very high quantities. So for us, that is actually very toxic. It can affect a lot of different things in our body. And therefore, even when people are in the water, it can still be absorbed.
No, we're gonna leave it. We're gonna call this. There's obviously some issues. What do we want to do? How do we want to do this? Clearly, this toe is going to go up. Let me give this top of the toe one more shot. I need to bring that up. And then bring that Bring this up. Bring this around. And then this other area needs to give it some more roundness. I think once I give it the roundness.
And then we had the rain that moved on through, really picked up overnight Saturday into Sunday, and then we have all of the snow that we're still dealing with as well. Can I add hail? Yeah, that's right, Maria. We had hail and Maria in some of the valleys all over winter. It has arrived. He said, "You were waiting on me? I'm here, you guys." I will show you what's going on right now as we look at some of the rain.
And here we go. So
More than an inch and a half of rain for you. Santa Monica Pier, more than an inch and a quarter. Same thing in Northridge at 1.36. Thousand Oaks, you picked up 1.13, and close to an inch there at Anaheim Hills in Orange County. Here's the first alert.
and we're gonna go down like so. Give this a little bit more design. Let's bring a little bit more color into, a little bit more shadow into this area right here. Add a little bit more shadow. Just gonna press a little harder on this pencil here. And then just a little bit more shadow because this is cylinder here. So we don't need to, can allow that part to have and we're gonna go into here, into here, down there, down there. Let's do this one more time. Let's give this one more shot here.
Long-range futurecast showing you as we press forward here, we've got some changes up ahead. Area of low pressure responsible for the rain, the snow, and the hail here in Southern California starting to depart. And as we get into the middle and latter half of our work week,
it's all these little dots. I messed it up with all those little dots. But you know what? We're going to take a break. This was a very challenging foot that I can see a lot of issues. So let me, point out my own mistakes so that I can know for next time. I guess to really know for next time, you just have to not make them in the first place, which is really easier said than done, but I usually think it's important to take a look. And it's easier to, one thing that's great about streaming and painting at the same time, or drawing, streaming, and any art, you could really take a look at what you're doing and just constantly see the differences. So, instantly, this part of the leg, this part of the foot is a little bit too wide. It's a little bit too thick. So I could probably, if I was to reduce this by just 2 millimeters, it would look about more accurate. This could have curved in a little bit further. Maybe all I need to do is, maybe curve this up a little bit and then make that look less pronounced. Yeah, it's probably this area right here that's just a little bit over pronounced. So there's that. I'm okay with this area. As Omizu mentioned, that I could have gone darker probably, but probably could go darker. Yeah, I definitely could go darker. It's different when you're looking at it, when I'm looking at it through my phone versus when I'm up close, because when I'm up close it looks pretty dark, but I can already see a lot of issues. Like this is a little bit too light, and it helps to have the right pencils and tools as well. But you know what, when I was doing this, I thought this was pretty dark, but it really isn't. It's not that dark. It's not dark enough. So let's see what else. This shape is a little off, but that's fine. As far as creativity goes, pretty much a 0 out of 10 on creativity, because literally just copied this. How can we add some creativity? Let's think of something to at least give it a 1 out of 10 of creativity. And we are going to etch in. We're going to go etch in the word greatness. There we go. That's how we give points for creativity, right?
GPS is a full art specialty center.
God bless GPS. I wouldn't be here without them. They told me that my whole world, the whole process was not even a month.
If your deadline plan care is important to you, I believe GPS should be your first choice. And
We're going to try to keep the letters about the same size. I have this problem where I make the letters always smaller.
today, Saturday Night Live on NBC4 is brought to you locally by your Southern California Toyota dealers. Saturday Night Live on NBC4 is brought to you locally by your Southern California
Greatness. And let's see, how do we add some more creativity to this? As of right now, I have to admit, I would get, this is literally a 0 out of 100 or out of 10 for creativity. It's literally minus because there's no creativity. Literally just looking at this and copying. So, how do we add our own stylistic idea here? Let's go like this, and we're gonna add some. Let's add a little mountain in the background. We're gonna add a mountain in the background. Gonna add some trees. Yes, those are trees. These are not. And then we're gonna go grass. So at least get us to a 1 out of 10 for creativity, or a minus, or at least not so much a minus, but like a 1 out of 10 for creativity here. And let's just draw stuff around it. I'm gonna draw swirls.
we haven't seen for an entire 2 years. So much for parity in the NFL. First, the beloved Chiefs. If you're from Missouri or Swifty, yeah, they did it again, beating the Bills in the AFC Championship. But I know most football fans are not happy about it. They're tired of the Chiefs. The hashtag rigged was trending on X last night, especially over a play where the Bills thought they had a first down, but officials didn't give them a good spot. Instead, they gave the ball back to Kansas City. It's always something with this team, and somehow they get the benefit of that call anytime they need it. Later on, it was
And there we go. So, we're gonna take a break here. And we will probably be back in a couple hours, hopefully, maybe, possibly. But those of you here, everybody, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for contributing ideas to this channel, to the stream, Omizu. And we'll be back in a bit, everybody. We for sure will. Thank you. Have a good night.